Coach, not an ounce of hyperbole when I say this. I've watched quite a bit of high school football in my life, and especially in the last couple of years. I don't know if I've ever been as impressed with a program as what I am with yours after being around them for one day. The discipline, the heart that they showed, and just the we've been there before attitude for a program that hadn't necessarily been at the heights that you got them to at this point. I wonder if you could speak to that and kind of just reflect on where the program's at now and what tonight really means to all you guys.
First, I'll tell you, I'm beyond flattered. The words you use right there are things that we talk about all the time. Relentless effort and the discipline that it takes to go, day to day to day, be able to put things behind you and focus on the next task at hand and not look ahead. That heart, that you speak of, we build that through competing daily. They got the courage to compete individually, but I think the secret sauce to it is the brotherhood that these guys are building. They're young. They're young men trying to find their way, right? And we're still all kind of new to each other a little bit. It's been about 18 months we've been together, but in that 18 months, it's been very special that the way that they've embraced me and the staff, and we've embraced them and the community and my administration. Holy smokes, you're not going to find one more aligned than what we are. So it's pretty special, and I appreciate you saying that.
Well, and it's remarkable cohesiveness in just 18 months, because a lot of what I hear you say and a lot of, I think, your demeanor and personality shows through your players. And one of those players is Jordan Yates, who I actually had an opportunity to talk to a little bit before this, and just in speaking to him about an article I wanted to write about him, and then getting to talk to him tonight, even more impressed. What can you tell me about Jordan and just his demeanor as a person, and then obviously his ability as a player?
First and foremost, I can't take credit for what Jordan Yates is. I mean, he's obviously been surrounded with great people, his mother and his father and his family, and I'm the fortunate one to come in and have somebody like a Jordan Yates as a junior, emerging leader. We wanted to make sure though that we coached him, and that we nurtured him, because as special as he is, he's still growing. He's just scratching the surface of what Jordan Yates is going to be, and that's because of God-given talent, but it's more of that personal determination and grit that he has. Nobody's going to outwork him. He's the first one. He's the first one to take the blame, the last one to point the finger, and his teammates rally to that. And just as coaches, we want to make sure we just nurture that and not mess that up. So he's been a perfect fit for us. It's the way we want to coach. It's the culture that we want to develop. And it was very very fortunate that as I came to Milton, he was the guy that I inherited.
You guys let it fly tonight in more ways than one, and one play in particular that I would love for you to just take me through the thought process and what was going on the sidelines was that onside kick after the score. Because that was the moment where I think you guys really, first of all, ballsy call. Second of all, that was when you kind of put your foot on their neck. And a lot of coaches and a lot of teams wouldn't have had the belief, I don't think, in that moment against a team like Cardinal Gibbons to pull the trigger there. What went into that?
Well, a little bit of emotion. I didn't appreciate the shot they took on my receiver. I guess 2 plays before, as Holden was coming over the middle. And again, I'm not going to say a kid's dirty. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to say he might have been frustrated, and he clearly, was looking to take a dirty shot right there. Not a dirty player, but a dirty shot. In that moment, when we looked at each other, I said, we're going to run this thing down their throat on this next play. And then with that momentum coming, we had actually kind of been a little poor in our kickoff coverage. So now's the momentum. I mean, at worst we're getting it where they start anyway. So let's take a shot here, and then the beautiful thing is we got it, and then we went up top the very next play. So just a little bit of emotion there, but also calculated.
Talk about your defense, if you could, because again, Cardinal Gibbons has got more firepower on offense than most teams in the country, and a lot of teams look at that on paper, they'd be a little bit intimidated maybe. Not your bunch. As great as the offense was, the defense, in my opinion, was equally great. You just speak to their performance.
I mean, I just think you saw it out the gate. Our guys came out hungry. They came out, like I said, there's one thing I know about this group, I think we can line up with anybody in the nation and not flinch. Now, I'm not gonna go out and make some grandiose statement that we're this and we're that, and we may take some lumps, but they are not going to flinch. And we came out from the very beginning and we were throwing punches, and I think we fed on that. And we knew they were going to get theirs, but we talked all week. Hey, just continue to tackle. It doesn't matter if it's on the 1-inch line. We had a young man get beat down here. He turns around and runs, tackles him on the 2, and we end up stopping him. And that, to me, those are the plays that really get me on fire, because that means they're listening. A lot of guys are going to give up on that ball because it's 60 yards and I got to keep running. And why do we tackle them on the 2 anyways? It's just, no, this group believes if there's a blade of grass, we can defend it. And so I was just so proud of them. Obviously, there's things we got to clean up, both sides of the ball, but the heart is something that we just got to keep building on, not building up necessarily.
All right, let's wrap this up with what this means, this event in particular, hosting it here at Milton, obviously very special. So if you can speak to that, and then coming out here and playing like you did and winning the thing.
Yeah, and again, people are going to start talking like, oh man, what do you think about going forward and this and that? Like, I don't know. We got Roswell in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So as far as that goes, yeah, it feels a little validation of what we've done in the summer and the winter and some of the early prep. But again, this season, our goals are to keep getting better. However, with that being said, being able to bring an event like this in, performing well is the cherry on top. I'm very proud that we performed well, but this will be an event, hopefully for years to come, that's going to become the staple, the silver star, the gold star, if you will, of high school football events. Not only just for the talent, which is great, but for what it stands for. I believe in Dave Menard, and I believe in Aero Nation and everything that they're about. And again, it was just, it was almost, I guess you see what you're looking for, and we were looking for an event like this. So when it came on, man, we sunk our teeth into it, and we said nobody's going to get this away from us. If we got a shot at it, that's why I give my AD so much props. He sunk his teeth into it, and we weren't going to let this thing get away. So that's how much we believe in it, and just honored and humbled that it's here.